Hi everyone, my name is Borja Gómez and I'm going to present my poster reviewing proposals of methods to summarize and improve the results of functional enrichment analysis in Go. Functional enrichment analysis is a powerful tool that we can use to give biological context to the gene lists we usually obtain in the final stages of omics studies. To do this, we need a database that allows us to group these genes. One of the most widely used and the focus of this work is Gene Ontology or Go. This database groups genes into concepts called Go terms and organizes them in a hierarchical structure. However, the hierarchical organization of information results in interdependence between Go terms, which in turn represents a series of limitations that directly affect functional enrichment analysis, increasing noise, low specificity, and redundancy in the final result. Therefore, the aim of this work is to compare the most commonly used techniques for functional enrichment with other alternative approaches, in order to detect which one generates the best results and to stabilize a workflow that can be applied to most situations in sharing good results. For this purpose, samples of two cell types, astrocytes and neurons, were used for the work, from which a list of genes of interest was obtained from differential expression analysis. Different functional enrichment methods have then been used on this list of genes of interest, which will be a direct approach to the problem we have just discussed. On the one hand, the most commonly used methods in functional enrichment, overrepresentation analysis and GSEA, which we have called classical methods, have been tested. These methods study each Go term individually and are directly affected by the structure and organization of Go, which will impair the quality of their results. On the other hand, less widely used methods have been tested whose aim is precisely to control the problems present in Go, and which form a group that we have called control methods, namely the elim, wait, wait01, and parent-child methods. Although each one works in a different way, the general idea in all of them is the following. In contrast to classical methods that are handicapped by studying each term individually, control methods aim to study the terms as a whole, thus being able to take into account the interdependence between terms, in order to try to improve the quality of the results. Once the functional enrichment has been completed, some strategies have been used to improve the results obtained, which we have called indirect approach. Within this group, on the one hand, we have tested the elimination algorithm weighted set cover. Its objective is to detect the least interesting Go terms in order to discard them without losing information of interest. On the other hand, we have compared two clustering tools, Rovigo and Simplify Enrichment, which practically works in opposite ways. Regarding the results for the direct approach, we see that the graphs generated by the classical methods and the control methods for the 10 most significant terms are very different. The classical methods present graphs with very general and similar terms, while the control methods present very diverse and specific terms. This is supported by Figure 2, which shows the distribution of the informative values of the terms detected by each method, that is, how informative the results of each method are. We see that the control methods elim, wait, and wait01 have a high density of highly informative terms, making the results potentially very interesting, while the classical methods and the control method parent-child have a lower proportion of informative terms. Regarding the indirect approach, on the one hand we can see the effect of weighted set cover, which has detected and eliminated terms of little interest in all the methods. However, the greatest impact has been precisely on the classical methods and the parent-child methods, which were those with the least informative results. Finally, as far as clustering tools are concerned, Rovigo has generated clusters with a higher informative value, that is, it produces more interesting results for the researcher than the Simplify Enrichment tool. Therefore, the conclusions we can draw are that the control methods elim, wait, and wait01 are much more stable than the rest of the methods compared, generating more specific, enriched and informative results, and performing correctly in all of comparisons made, while the classical methods, as expected, and surprisingly the parent-child control method, have generated much lower results. Regarding the weighted set cover algorithm, it has performed well, being able to eliminate the least interesting terms. However, it only seems to be useful for the worst performing enrichment methods, that is, classical methods and parent-child. Finally, regarding the clustering tools, although Rovigo generates more clusters than Simplify Enrichment, these are of better quality and size, while Simplify Enrichment, although it produces fewer clusters, these are of lower quality and larger size, which makes Rovigo even more useful to the researcher than Simplify Enrichment.